Okay, so we are the Minnesota Loons. That's our team. So that's our logo. And this is a little video that one of the teams out in Denver put together. Any questions about that? Did it all make sense?
We'll see.
We'll find out. Okay. One of the things which I think most people don't expect when they first hear about underwater hockey is how far you can lob one of these guys underwater. And you saw it. I mean, a good shot can be from here to the other table. So most people think you just kind of push it a couple feet. This is what makes the game a lot of fun because it opens it up a lot. I used to play underwater hockey back in the 80s, and then it was just sort of, you get down, you push the stick, you had a little stick look like a shuffleboard stick. You just get down, you push it down, and it's rugby underwater. You push it until you ran out of breath, and the other side come down and bash you out of the way. They'd push it for a while, you go for air, you come down and bash them, just back and forth. You'd stop when the pool was so full of blood you couldn't see, but the shooting is open it up. It's a much funner game, it's a much faster game, and we've been able to get some women to join us, so it's actually a lot of fun. So that's the game. The sport actually started in 1954 in England, and the apocryphal story I've heard is that it was the British underwater demolition team guys that wanted to do something to stay in shape over the winter.
They told me it had been around for a long time. I couldn't believe it. I didn't hear it until like 3 days ago.
We hear that a lot. It's not a great sport for watching. I mean, we're never going to get on CNN. It's kind of this odd little sport, but that's also why it's kind of fun. That's why guys like me can go to the U.S. Nationals actually compete, whereas any other sport, it's like I'd be hopelessly outclassed by real athletes. Anyways, so there are teams all around the world. If you travel at all, you can find a lot of teams. The U.S. has probably 24 teams, and you'll find probably twice that many teams in England, in France, in Germany, and I believe in Tasmania is like the national sport or something very odd. Yeah, and we do have tournaments. We have a U.S. Nationals tournament. We have a World Tournament. So we've held nationals here about 3 times. So, the Loons, we've been playing for 30 years. We have people here from casual, come every couple of weeks, up to people played on the world teams. We have 4 people that have played on the U.S. team once won the Worlds. So we got some very good players, and some that are not so good. No, you're doing fine.
Weekend warrior.
Yeah, well, yeah. And
Wednesday warrior.
And we have, it is co-ed, so we have both males and females. And we have people at all different age ranges. One of the nice things is you don't wear out your knees doing this game. There's one guy down in Chicago who's 70 years old, and he shows up and plays. Not quite as competitively when he's in his 50s, but he's still there. So the game itself, as you saw from the video, it's played in the bottom of the pool. It's 3-dimensional. That's what makes this different than almost any other sport. That you're going over people, under people, and you're also rotating in 3 dimensions. So there's all sorts of movements that you will never do in other sports. There's 2 teams of 6 players, kind of like hockey, and the trick is to get the puck into the goal at the other guy's end. So we'll go over the equipment now. One big thing about all the equipment we have is that nothing can have a sharp edge. As you saw, people are in kind of close, position to each other. You don't want anything sharp. We really do try hard to avoid blood. The mask is standard off-the-shelf mask with a couple of special things. It has to have 2 lenses. There are some of the old porthole kind of masks with 1 lens. The problem with those is if a puck comes up and hits, it's more likely to break the mask and also go through. This, if it hits, it does break the glass. It's not going to go in very far, and it has to be tempered glass, so there's no sharp edges. By the way, I could talk a lot about safety stuff. I've never seen a mask break in this game. We'll talk about this stuff because we're concerned about it, but I don't want you to think that this is like something that happens a whole lot. As far as I know, it doesn't. So 2 panes of glass, tempered glass or plastic. Some people want to wear swim goggles. That doesn't work really very well. So we discourage that. I think we had one guy who started a couple of weeks ago. He really wanted to wear his swim goggles, so I'm sure it'd be okay. So let him. He lasted one game. And, just something else. Okay. Snorkel. Typical snorkel with addition of a mouthpiece. This is again to protect you from a puck coming up and knocking any teeth out. So typical snorkel. We usually cut them off a little bit shorter just to make it a little faster in the water.
Okay.
You'll find a number of snorkels that have little doohickeys on the top that, like one that turns upside down. It's got a little ball that floats up there and it's supposed to stop from flowing water. Others have purge valves down here. You don't want any of that stuff. You just want a cheap tube.
Did you just add this on?
Yes.
Here? Okay.
Yeah. It's a standard snorkel. I won't pull it off, but yeah, this is a separate piece. This machine, it just fits in there.
Okay.
So this is a little different than most of the mouth guards people have. A lot of them are just the chin straps from like a hockey helmet or the chin guard, and they cut it out and fit it over there. This one's actually made for it. It works a little better. So standard snorkel. We use headgear. Yeah, I do not do that. So this is standard headgear from water polo, and a couple of reasons for that. One is this protects your ears. Water's not compressible, so if you get water in there and then somebody was able to close off your ear and push on it, the water would go through your eardrum, which you wouldn't like.
Yeah.
So this makes it almost impossible for anybody to be able to do that. It also, if you're playing in competition, identifies the team, white and black. For you tonight, we will have a red hat for you.
Okay.
That means that we're supposed to be nice to you. So
Supposed to be.
we're supposed to be. Some
right.
players are better at that than others. We'll leave it at that. Okay, and fins. Fins, standard fins. A couple of things. You can't have sharp buckles, so a lot of the scuba fins actually have a strap with a buckle here. That doesn't work. Some of them do have a strap, but it's like attached without that buckle, so you can use those. Basically something that doesn't have a sharp edge. Some of the fiberglass fins don't have this piece here. They're just come out here, and that is also kind of sharp, so we don't allow that. It has to be something along this edge to protect it. And you have to wear fins. It's actually dangerous to be in the game without fins because you're kicking so fast, you're more likely to really roll it. So this slows your feet down a little bit more, and less likely to really hurt somebody if you do kick them. Okay, and we got a stick. That is a stick. There's a number of different styles to the stick. Everybody generally kind of makes their own or modifies it. You got sort of a curved edge. That's always the front edge. A real common thing is some people will think they're supposed to play like this. You want to play like this. To get the flick, what you actually do is you get under the puck, and it rolls along the puck as you lob it off. So you want to have sort of that curvature, so it'll roll along the thing.
Okay.
If you go like this, it'll stop there, and then you go to throw it, it'll just